wonderful introduction. Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome guests. Few weeks back, I had conducted a program on how to evaluate to motivate. You all remember. And I had asked one question: what made you join Toastmasters Club? Many answers came, improving communication skills. Somebody said leadership skills. Somebody wanted to overcome nervousness. Several reasons. And I asked, why Toastmasters Club? Why not any other? They said, the Toastmasters gives something wrong here. Toastmasters works on mutually supportive environment. There is so much required for learning. Now today I am going to ask a continuing section, same question in a different way. I'll ask question. Okay, you have decided to join Toastmasters Club. Why did you decide to join Mecon Communication Club? There are more than 250 odd clubs in Bangalore. Maybe about 30-40 of them are community clubs where all of us could have joined. But all of you chose to join Mecon Communication Club. Maybe, what could be the reason? I think someone who has joined very recently, maybe a new member, someone can answer, yeah, can you give me one?
It feels like home, so it's more welcoming, and people are more welcoming here, and they're very friendly, and they're very approachable. So that is something they don't feel. It doesn't feel like I'm talking to DTM Prabhakara, who has already achieved so much, but I'm learning from him, so it's approachable.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
I would like to tell that while I was trying to visit other clubs and all, I made phone calls to all the other clubs near around JP Nagar and other places. But the only one person who called back, I actually messaged everyone, called everyone. The only person who called back me was Sandeep. And I came here, I visited, I knew this club, but I wanted an invitation or a timing, something from other clubs where I never received reply to my messages.
Wonderful, yeah. Actually, it sums up about what exactly attracted you to the club. What we call, what you told about, it summarizes into one word. They say that the club climate is very good. Many times, many people say, and many times we confuse climate with weather. But it's not exactly so. In a metaphorical meaning, climate means so many things. We say economic climate of the country. Political climate is not conducive, we say that. Similarly, when it comes to club, and climate means it is some situation which helps or which affects the performance of the club, the performance of the members, how the members view the club, or how they interact, and how the guests view the club. All these things sums up how climate of our club is concerned. So let us see. There was something wrong with the
brightness. I think the brightness there also has to be increased. The laptop brightness is
coming all right.
yeah.
Yeah, no, sorry. Now I was telling, a club climate involves not only the physical conditions, but the way the members vibe with each other, the feelings, the reaction, interaction between the members. These are the things. What I feel in any club, in Toastmasters Club, actually I feel that there are three parties involved. Three groups. The first I would call as the office bearers of the club. The president, VP education, VP membership, VPR, secretary, treasurer, sergeant arms. They are the persons who are custodians of the club to maintain the club standards as per the international norms and maintain the physical learning environment. They ensure that everything is in place, the ACs are operating, seats are in place, everything, snacks are arranged, and we meet the international standards as per the concern. So most of the international standards also refer to physical environment. The learning environment is created where we can learn better. Now more than that, there's another thing which is more important. There is a member interactions. We believe that Toastmasters works on a mutually supportive environment where we learn by the feedback we get from other members. So it's necessary that members interact very freely and very in a friendly manner. So this member interaction becomes very, very important. So ultimately when we see the club climate is decided by these two factors of the learning environment which we created here and also the member interactions which is very, very important. Now when we see member interactions, now we know that how members are important. In a Toastmasters member, all the three persons involved, the guest, a person who comes as the guest for the first time, he looks at every member as the representative of the club and its values. He must have joined only 1 week back, but for him, he is the repository of all that the club can offer. So he can ask the new member also that what is the ask about the question and all that. So that is one thing. So there is as per the members, as per the new member is concerned, who has recently joined, who looks up at the member for guidance, and for the seniors members who are already making several speeches and all that, they also look towards the member because after all it is a mutually supportive environment. We get feedback from that member also how we are performing. So the membership becomes the most important factor in deciding the health of a club, or if the club climate is good, the clubs prosper. There are clubs who are doing extremely well in Bangalore. Maybe our club is supposed to be one of the better clubs in India. But let us not rest on our shoulders for there are always scope for improvement. But there are clubs which are struggling. So what the difference is, the learning environment may be okay, but the member interactions do not be proper. Now let us see. Now we know that membership is very, very important. It is the members who create the club environment. Members decide whether the club is going to be successful or not. Office bearers also are members first, then only they are office bearers. So I would say that they are also members. So ultimately it is the responsibility of the members to see that the club climate is improved. So now let us see how the members can help or what they can do to improve the club climate. The first is nothing better than setting an example for others. No, Mahatma Gandhi has told, be the change you want to see in the world. If you want to see something better, if you want the club climate to improve, first of all, you should be part of that. And you should set an example to others by what your behavior, your interactions, whatever you do. The first thing you should do is arriving in time, maybe before time. At least each member, as far as possible, try to come at least 5 minutes earlier than the scheduled time. It's 6:15, try to be here by 6:10. I know how it is difficult, many have to come from Whitefield or HSR layout and all that. But with all that, it does help if you come early because you will be all the more prepared maybe to receive guests, to interact with others, everything. So arrive early and arrive prepared. Prepared means with all your manuals, if your speech is there, be prepared for that. You bring your manual for evaluation, discuss with the evaluator, or even the specific role as a grammarian or R counter, whatever, be prepared for that role and come. So arriving prepared is very important. Second thing is offering assistance. It's the job of sergeant at arms to set up the rooms, facility here, whether AC, come, fan, everything, or lighting, everything. But definitely alone he or she may not be able to manage. Come early and try to offer assistance, whether I can do something about it, arranging the standees or lecture, whatever. This is very, very important. Third thing is volunteering. Volunteering to take all roles, including office bearers, whether it is a vice president, president, whatever. Volunteer to take up the roles, even the regular roles, whatever your grammarian, R counter and all that. If was BP education says today we don't have R counter, immediately all hands should go, okay, I will take up. That is volunteering. And that really improves the climate of the club by volunteering. Finally, supporting. Supporting means, as an active member, sit in a place and see, attentively attend the meeting and look at the speaker and applaud generously. By the time the club MC introduces the speaker, from the time the speaker gets up from the seat until he reaches the lectern, applauding, because that is the one which enthuses him to start with his speech in full earnest. So applauding and also supporting them. If somebody gives a good speech, at the end you can go and always say, "What a wonderful speech you gave me! Really right." You know, that's the support you are giving to him. That's very, very important. So this is the setting an example is the first requirement of a Toastmaster is a member. She should do that. Second thing is guests. You know, guests are very important. You know, the whole club, our Toastmasters movement, our club runs on the principle of guests. Today's guests are tomorrow's members. You know, Mr. Nagaraj Rao joined us as a member, as a guest first day, and he went on to become international director. You know, that's how the leadership also comes across. So the guests are very important. What's happening is the turnover in Toastmasters Club is quite huge. It's as much as 20 to 30%, I think. That is most natural because in today's world, people get transferred, they go to other places, professional commitments are there. For example, our Ashwin had to quit because of the professional commitment. He had to quit, though he was an extremely good Toastmaster, very outstanding Toastmaster he was. But he had to quit because of this. So that's the first very important. So guests are important. So what do you do for guests? As a member, how you can help a guest? First thing, as soon as you are coming 5 minutes early to it, the guest is there, go and greet the guest. Good evening. Can I know your name? Just as I met Aditya today, I saw him for the first time. May I know your name? What made you join our club? Who guided you? You know, such questions. Engage them in conversation. Tell them so that you know better. You know what happens in the case of guests is, you know, guests, they have got their own apprehensions. They come here essentially for assessing our club. Is it the right place to be in? There are several clubs around. They got their own limitations. They have got their own aspirations. They think that somebody may be feeling nervous. They feel very apprehensive. Can I fit in this scheme of things? You know, all those fears are there. So it is for you to allay those fears and tell them, don't worry. I was also in your seat some time back, and now I am a good Toastmaster. You too can become. You know, that is what, engage them in conversation to get what is the implication, what is the interest, what are his aspirations, so that you can help him out. Answer questions. There are specific queries to ask. What he can do, how the club runs, what is the fees like. For most of the questions you may be having answers. Some you may not have answer. You can guide him to VP membership or vice president or president. You know what happens is this guest, welcoming guests and talking during this job is the main job essentially of VP membership and sergeant at arms. But each member has to do the same task also, because that's very, very much important. Be friend, obviously. Once you know, they give the C, once you make them friendship with them, then realize that, okay, they will also come to realize that, okay, this is the right place for me to be. Let me join this club. I think I can do well. The way I see how people react with me, I feel quite comfortable. So be friendly with them is very important. And this is, as far as there are 2 times you meet a guest, when they initially come before the meeting, and after they attend at the end of the meeting, during the break time and at the end of the meeting, then you can ask them, how did you like the meeting? Have you got any suggestion? Did you like it? What is your apprehension? Would you like to come again so that you can get another feel of the meeting? Or if you are satisfied, would you like to join? If it's a join, shall I introduce you to the VP membership? You know, that kind of thing. So invite them to another meeting or to join. This is as far as the welcoming guest is concerned. Each member's job, responsibility to do this job, because then only the guests, we survive on guests only, where the turnover as such is very high. Normally it has to be like that only. So of course there are some old timers also are there, like MU Bhat, AK Prabhakar and all that, some fossils I think, should I call that, I don't know. But you know, many people say that even that old people, seniors also being, there is a USP of a particular club also. In the case of, particularly some of the guests have remarked that our club, one of the things what they liked was, it has got the optimal mix of very senior Toastmasters and senior Toastmasters, experienced Toastmasters and juniors, a very optimal mix. This is very, very nice, which is not there in many of the clubs, other clubs. So this is the USP of the club. So that also a way of thinking, it does help. But yes, guests are definitely there because they are going to be the future of the club. So it is very much necessary to welcome the guest, and each member has to take the responsibility to greet the guest, talk to them, and see that they get the proper response as far as their queries are concerned. So now we are seeing the two things. First is in your own creating area, then you get how to welcome guests. Now the third and the most important, show members that you care. You know, we are a mutually supportive environment. We claim ourselves to be having a mutually supportive environment where we care for other members. Because we learn that way. We help others, you help me, he helps me. It's a mutually supportive group. So it's very much required that you should not only be helpful, you should show the members that you really do care. Now, how do you do that? The first, be a mentor. To start with, a newcomer as soon as you offer yourself to be a mentor to the new member, so that you can guide him how to prepare his first few speeches, whether it's the title, whether it's the content. Be a mentor to your club, and also talk to the BP education. Introduce him to him. I would like you to give some roles like a grammarian, R counter, so that you can start, so that you can get well into the groove of Toastmasters. So that is the first thing you should do to show that you care for others. Second thing is, show interest in others. You know what happens normally is, after we take a lot of interest in newcomers, we give them a mentor, we give them first speech and all. But after some 6 months or 1 year, old timers will tend to forget. Let me give an example of Mr. Ravi Kumar, one of the very, very highly competent, very proactive Toastmaster. Anytime he is proactive, any role, he is master of ceremony, anything we give, he raises hands. It takes. But somewhere along, I have realized that he has not taken up speeches. How many of you know how many speeches your neighbor has done? You should be aware of it, because then otherwise they will feel left out. So I talked to Ravi Kumar, why don't you give speeches? Do you have any title, any problem with the selection of topic? Can I be of some help to you? That is the thing we should look for, and see that the existing members are also supported. Because that's what we are existing members, otherwise they tend to forget. So that's why show interest in others, other members other than the beginners. And third, be considerate. Considerate means, you should be knowing that, people come from all the way spending 2 hours on commuting, another 2.5 hours sitting here, their valuable time and effort and money they're spending. And you should not just take a lackadaisical approach. Be serious in what you do. Come here, be prepared. Whatever your roles are there, take it with all its seriousness. And, not only seriousness, if suppose you are unable to take up a role, immediately telephone VP Education, say, I'm sorry, I cannot take up, can you do something about it? So that he is not harassed or he is not put into a problem. Third thing, most important, considerate is, if a role is vacant, immediately you can take up, consider it. You can talk to VP Education, say, I understand this role is vacant. I can help you take up that role. Just as I did today, I was not supposed to do this presentation today. Somebody else dropped out of the speech. I said, okay, I will take up this. So that is being, so that we don't waste members' time, because you spend so much time and money to come over here. It's very, very precious. So be considerate to the members for everybody. So that is very, very important. Evaluate effectively. After all, everybody, all of us will evaluate others. Evaluation, take it very, very seriously. Not as just a whitewash evaluation, but true evaluation which is from heartfelt. What you really liked in the speech, bring out the points, study the objectives of the speech, and see what are the speaker's additional requirements. If he has got a specific need, I want you to evaluate on this particular aspect. Do that and give him valuable suggestions so that he can improve. So evaluating effectively is very, very important to show to members that you really do care and we are following a mutually supportive group. Recognize achievements. When anybody does a good something achieved, somebody attains ESCP, go and congratulations. Or he gets an award, something, congratulate him. Or even if somebody gives a wonderful speech, I know today like what Sridevi gave, it's a wonderful speech he gave. And I'm planning to give go during the break in time. What a wonderful speech you gave today. And really, as a presidential speech, it was having a real value addition today. That is, that is recognizing achievements. Even a simple thing as a good speech given, recognize those things. And finally, foster camaraderie, because our Toastmasters Club works on camaraderie. The fellowship and friendship. There is one thing that glues us all together. We are all disparate elements from different backgrounds. It binds us all together. It is because of the fellowship and friendship. And that we have to cultivate. In fact, the guests when they come out, the first thing, the best climate what they observe is the friendly and the warm atmosphere and the way people interact with each other and help each other. That's the one which strikes them, and that's the one point which attracts them to join our club, if I'm not mistaken. I think many of the club members will agree with me that. So this is what the fostering camaraderie is very, very important. So finally, concluding, we know how the membership is very, very important. It is the members who decide the climate of the club. Whether the club is successful, prosperous, is the depends on the members. And we know how the members can help in the case of how treating the guest, creating the right impression, and making sure that we are showing the camaraderie and the good atmosphere we are creating. So we have understood that, but our club may be doing well, but definitely there are definitely possibilities that we can even do much better even in future. Shall we all agree that from now on at least we'll try to implement all that we have learned today in the meeting so that we can improve further our club climate. Will you?
Yes.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster.